Don't embarrass your sister on her special day, Mom hissed, ripping my arm as I tried to leave the bathroom. My face was still wet from trying to wash away the fruit punch they dumped over my head. Just clean yourself up and act like nothing happened. My name is Olivia, and at 16, I learned the hard way that being the younger sister of Madison Evans came with a price. Madison was the queen bee of Oak Valley High School, and her Sweet 16 party was supposed to be the event of the year. Instead, it became the night that changed everything. I never wanted to attend the party. Madison made it clear I wasn't welcome, but our parents insisted. "She's your sister," Dad said, not looking up from his newspaper. "Family supports family." Family, right. The party started like any other teen nightmare. Me, standing awkwardly by the snack table, while Madison and her friends ruled the makeshift dance floor in our backyard. The music was too loud, the laughter too forced, and the tension too thick. "Look who's trying to blend in, Kira," Madison's best friend sneered as she approached. The little ghost sister finally found some color. She gestured to my pale blue dress, the one I'd saved up for months to buy. I tried to walk away, but Kira blocked my path. Behind her, Madison watched with that familiar mix of disdain and amusement. Two more of their friends, Ashley and Davin, flanked me. "We're just trying to help," Devin said, her smile sharp as glass. "You clearly need it." Before I could react, Ashley accidentally spilled her fruit punch down my dress. The cold liquid soaked through instantly, turning the pale blue into an ugly purple. The nearby crowd erupted in laughter. "Oops," Ashley giggled. "Red's definitely your color." I ran to the bathroom, fighting back tears. That's when things got worse. The girls followed me, Madison trailing behind them like a shark scenting blood. "Ah, is baby sister crying?" Madison's voice dripped with fake concern. "Maybe if you weren't such a pathetic loser, people would actually like you." Kira pulled out her phone, the camera flash blinding in the bathroom's fluorescent light. "Smile, ghost girl. This is going on my story." That's when they surrounded me. Devin grabbed my arms while Ashley dumped another cup of punch over my head. The red liquid ran down my face, into my eyes, staining everything it touched. Madison just stood there, recording the whole thing on her phone. "Nobody will believe you anyway," she said calmly. "You probably did this to yourself for attention." When Mom found us, I was trying to clean up while the girls took selfies in the mirror. One look at Madison's face, and I knew how this would play out. "Mom, Olivia's trying to ruin my party," Madison started, her voice wobbling perfectly. "She's always been jealous of me, and now she's making a scene." I stared at my mother, waiting for her to see through the act. Instead, she turned to me with that familiar look of disappointment. "Why can't you just try to get along with your sister?" she sighed. "Go clean yourself up and stop causing drama." That night, I lay in bed listening to the party continue downstairs. My dress was ruined, my dignity shattered, and my own family couldn't care less. I pulled out my phone, trying to distract myself, when I noticed something strange. A message from an unknown number. I saw what they did. I got everything on video. Want to make them famous? Attached was a clip from a different angle, showing everything clearly: the assault, Madison's recording, Mom's dismissal. Someone else had been in the bathroom, hidden from view, capturing the whole thing. My hands shook as I watched the footage. For once, there was proof. Undeniable evidence of what they'd done, what they'd always done. Another message popped up. They post their perfect lives on social media every day. Maybe it's time people saw the truth. I stared at my phone screen, my finger hovering over the reply button. Years of being the family ghost, the sister who needed to stay quiet, the daughter who shouldn't make waves, all of it crystallized into this moment. Madison's laughter echoed up from downstairs, followed by the sound of breaking glass and more giggles. Mom's voice floated up, not scolding, just indulgent. "Girls will be girls." I took a deep breath and typed my response. "Do it." Little did I know, that simple two-word reply would turn our perfectly curated family image upside down by Monday morning. Monday morning arrived with the buzz of hundreds of notifications on my phone. The video had gone viral overnight, spreading across multiple platforms. Someone had edited it perfectly, starting with Madison's perfect party princess facade from her social media, then cutting to the bathroom incident in all its ugly glory. I walked into Oak Valley High School with my head down, expecting the usual invisibility. Instead, whispers followed me everywhere. But for once, they weren't mocking whispers. Did you see what they did to her? That's so messed up. Her own sister just stood there filming. By third period, the school administration called me to the office. Madison was already there, her mascara smeared from crying, Mom sitting beside her looking shell-shocked. This is a serious situation, Principal Torres said, her face stern. Bullying and assault are zero-tolerance offenses at Oak Valley. It was just girls being girls, Mom started, but Principal Torres held up her hand. Mrs. Evans, we have clear video evidence of 4 students assaulting another student. The fact that this happened off campus doesn't change the severity of the situation. Madison's head snapped up. It wasn't assault. We were just having fun. Olivia's always so sensitive. Fun? I finally spoke, my voice stronger than I expected. You recorded your friends attacking me and planned to post it yourself. How was that fun? The principal turned to her computer and played a clip. Not just the bathroom incident, but a series of similar pranks Madison and her friends had pulled on other students. Someone had compiled months of their social media cruelty into one damning highlight reel. We've received dozens of emails from concerned parents, Principal Torres continued. Many students have come forward with their own stories. Mom's face had gone pale. Surely there's something we can do. Madison's college applications will reflect her actions, Principal Torres finished firmly. As will those of the other students involved, 2-week suspension minimum, and the school board will review whether further action is necessary. Madison burst into fresh tears. This isn't fair. Someone set us up. They filmed us without permission. Like you filmed me, I asked quietly, like you film everyone who doesn't fit into your perfect world. Before Madison could respond, her phone buzzed. Then mine. Then Mom's. The local news had picked up the story. Local teen bullies exposed, social media queens revealed as cruel tormentors. Mom's carefully maintained composure cracked. Do you have any idea what this will do to our family's reputation? I really looked at her, and saw something I'd never noticed before. She was just like Madison, more concerned with appearances than actual harm. You mean like what you've done to our family by always choosing her over me? The office fell silent. Even Madison stopped crying. Every time she hurt me, every time her friends targeted me, he told me to stay quiet, to not make waves, to think about the family image. My voice grew stronger with each word. Well, Mom, the image is broken, and you can't blame me for the cracks you helped create. Principal Torres cleared her throat. Mrs. Evans, I'm also concerned about the home situation this video reveals. The school counselor would like to speak with both girls separately. That won't be necessary, Mom started, but I cut her off. Actually, I like that very much. For the first time in my life, I watched my mother's control slip completely. She couldn't smile this away, couldn't smooth it over with a dismissive laugh or a quick excuse. As we left the office, my phone buzzed again. Another message from the unknown number. Phase 1 complete. Ready for Phase 2. Madison, walking ahead with Mom, turned back to glare at me. I hope you're happy. You've ruined everything. I thought about all the times she'd ruined things for me. Birthdays, school events, friendships. Always with that same satisfied smirk she'd worn in the bathroom. No, Madison, I replied, loud enough for Mom to hear. I'm just getting started. Looking down at my phone, I typed back, "What's Phase 2?" The response came immediately. The truth about what really happened at last year's summer camp. I have that footage too. Madison's step faltered ahead of me. She'd heard her phone buzz at the same time as mine, and from the way her shoulders tensed, I knew she'd received some kind of message too. For the first time since this all began, I smiled. My anonymous ally wasn't just exposing Madison's current cruelty. They were unraveling her entire reign of terror, one video at a time. The summer camp video dropped 3 days into Madison's suspension. Unlike the party footage, this one showed something darker. Madison and her friends had trapped a freshman in the camp storage shed overnight, stealing her inhaler as a joke. The girl could have died. I was in the kitchen when I heard Mom's coffee mug shatter on the floor. She stood frozen, staring at her phone, while Dad finally looked up from his perpetual newspaper shield. Our daughter could be charged with attempted manslaughter, Mom whispered. The girl's parents are pressing charges. Madison stormed in, mascara running again. It wasn't like that. We didn't know about her asthma. The video shows her begging for her inhaler. Dad spoke for the first time, his voice unusually sharp. You laughed and called her a drama queen. I watched from the doorway as my family's perfect facade crumbled. The girl's parents weren't just pressing charges. They were suing our family, the school, and the summer camp for enabling Madison's behavior. This has to stop. Mom turned to me suddenly. Olivia, you must know who's doing this. Make them stop. I met her desperate gaze steadily. Like you stopped Madison all those years? Oh wait, you didn't. My phone buzzed again. Another message. Final phase tomorrow. Watch the morning news. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not from guilt, but from anticipation. My mysterious ally had promised this would change everything, and so far, they delivered. The next morning, our doorbell rang at exactly 7 a.m. Mom opened it to find a news crew on our doorstep. Behind them stood Ashley, Devin, and Kira, Madison's former friends, accompanied by their parents and what looked like lawyers. We're here to make a statement, Ashley announced, her queen bee confidence replaced by genuine remorse. About Madison Evans and the pattern of abuse we participated in. One by one, they confessed everything. How Madison had orchestrated years of bullying, blackmailing them into participation by holding their own secrets over their heads. How she manipulated events, people, and evidence to always come out looking innocent. She told us if we didn't help her, she'd destroy our lives, Devin admitted on camera. But we can't live with the guilt anymore. Mom tried to shut the door, but it was too late. The story was live. Madison appeared at the top of the stairs, her face white with rage. You traitors. I'll ruin you all. No, a familiar voice said from behind the news crew. You won't. Miss Torres stepped forward, holding a USB drive. As school principal, I gathered evidence of years of systematic bullying, including testimony from dozens of students. The school board has made its decision. Madison Evans is expelled. I felt a strange sense of peace wash over me. Finally, everything was coming to light. That's when I noticed someone else in the crowd, a quiet girl with a camera. Katie, the yearbook photographer who always seemed to be everywhere but nowhere. She caught my eye and gave me a slight nod. Suddenly, I understood. The mysterious ally, the perfectly captured footage, the strategic release of information. It had been Katie all along. The invisible observer, just like me, who'd finally decided to expose the truth. The aftermath was both swift and complete. Madison's college acceptances were rescinded. Her friends turned witnesses received suspended sentences and mandatory counseling. Our parents, finally forced to face reality, enrolled Madison in a behavioral rehabilitation program. As for me, life changed in unexpected ways. Other students started talking to me, sharing their own stories of surviving Madison's reign. I went from being the ghost sister to someone people actually saw. Mom and Dad had to attend parenting classes as part of the legal settlement. Slowly, they began to understand the damage their negligence had caused. Dad started actually putting down his newspaper during conversations. Mom learned to listen instead of immediately dismissing uncomfortable truths. A month later, Katie approached me during lunch. Thank you, I said simply. She shrugged. I saw you that night at the party. You reminded me of myself last year, before I decided to start documenting everything. Sometimes the best revenge is just showing people the truth. Why didn't you tell me it was you? You needed to stand up for yourself without knowing you had backup, and you did. She was right. Each time I'd spoken up during the past month, it had been my choice, my voice, my strength. That evening, I sat with my parents for our newly instituted family dinner, Madison attending via video call from her program. I'm sorry, she said, looking smaller and younger somehow. For everything. It wasn't enough to erase years of torment, but it was a start. Mom reached for my hand across the table. We're sorry too, Olivia. We should have protected you. No, I replied, thinking of Katie's words. I needed to learn to protect myself. But now that I have, maybe we can all learn to be a real family. It wasn't a perfect ending, but it was an honest one. Sometimes that's better than perfect. As for the videos, they're still out there, a digital reminder that the truth always comes out, and that even the quietest voice deserves to be heard.